Well, it's a huge deal. I mean, Senator Grassley has earned an immense amount of respect over the years for his championing accountability in government and fighting against waste, fraud, and abuse. He's been the champion of the inspector generals. And Grassley is an Iowa guy, and his idea of a big night is going to Dairy Queen with his wife and getting the good meal and a soft serve. Kash Patel has a different orientation. You know, it's getting on a private plane and it's going to a UFC fight with his girlfriend and then upbraiding his subordinates because they didn't provide him with sufficient entertainment. So I think what you're seeing with Grassley is he's had enough. And there's really two issues here, because I think Luke really got on it. One is the president has made it clear that being in a position of enormous power and public trust is an opportunity for private gain. I mean, he made $2 billion last year. So what he's doing is setting a tone that says, get what you can while you're there and make the most of it. So Kash Patel is using the perks. He's using the jet. He's admonishing subordinates because they didn't provide him with enough entertainment. That's one. And that really comes directly from the president. Mm-hmm. The second issue is competence, because I think what you're talking about at the Department of Defense is a guy who has as much business running that as your next door neighbor. It's just a random pick. And the qualification, what you're seeing in the Trump administration, is loyalty to the president to do his bidding. It's not competence. So these two issues where the president made $2 billion, he's explicit about it. He made $2 billion. He's not embarrassed. And that ripples down to subordinates in the cabinet. And then the competence question is much secondary to the question of loyalty. So the fact that Senator Grassley is coming forward, I think is a huge deal, because we clearly need some honorable Republicans to step forward and say what most Americans believe.
Senator, I want to ask about what our MS Now reporting says, that Democrats said they've been told that Patel demoted personnel in Brussels because they failed to ensure, this is from the letter that they sent Patel, you were adequately entertained, stoking fear among rank-and-file agents that they must provide your demanded perks or face termination. In a letter to Patel from Jamie Raskin and Dick Durbin that was sent yesterday, they go on to say, as a credible source relayed to Ranking Member Durbin's staff, you told field officers in a meeting last year, if you have golf, hockey, fishing, or hunting and beautiful sights, you're going to see a lot of me. Whistleblowers, I think, should remain anonymous unless they choose to come forward and tell us their identity. But can you at least tell us, how many whistleblowers are there on this? And what is the nature of the Brussels situation? That seems very alarming.
It does, Simone. I don't have the specifics on that, so we will be meeting, and Senator Durbin will brief us on it. I don't have it, but what I do know is there's a trail here. There's a lot of documented information about Patel bringing his girlfriend wherever he wants. There's documentation about him getting upset with the FBI because they weren't providing her with security, to which she's not entitled. And there's example after example where Patel believes that he, as an individual, not as the FBI director, is entitled to these perks. It's like a Chevy Suburban, which is an expensive vehicle for his security, wasn't good enough. He wanted to get a BMW.
Senator, before, I know Luke has some other questions, and we also want to ask you about Todd Blanche, but when is this meeting where Senator Durbin is going to brief you all about his findings?
Well, we're going to be back on Monday, so it's not like we have a set meeting, but we're back all together on Monday. And it's obviously a big deal for us because we have the Todd Blanche hearings next week, and that'll be 2 days of the Judiciary Committee. So we've been getting committee memos, and we've been preparing back home, but we'll be getting together to proceed on those 2 days of hearings with Todd Blanche.